You might say, no, all that is not true, but the reality is, ask yourselves inside, you fear it. I'll tell you a small little story that when I was in college, right, I always had the fear of standing out and speaking in front of the people, going on stage and going ahead and sharing my viewpoints. I always felt I was different, right? And somehow that made me not happy. I was not comfortable being different. Though my mother tongue is Telugu, though I'm born and brought up in Karnataka, the only language I spoke was English. Throughout my life was only English. And I became that Angrezi Olat kind of a kid in school and college that everyone used to tease me. Everyone used to say that, okay, the way you stuff, and people used to sit on the floor and eat, but somehow I was never a person who sat on the floor. I always used to sit on the desk and eat. They were like, why are you being different? You think you're some big short kid who comes in? It's nothing like that. I mean, that's how I had it at home. But somehow I always was branded being different because I was doing things that other people were not doing. But was that my disability? Was that a point that was not right for me? I thought so at that time. But years later, in debates, in speeches, in English exams, in Toastmasters, I have excelled. Why? Because for 2 decades plus, the only language I've really spoken has been English. I've never attended grammar classes. You ask me grammar questions, I will not be able to give you an answer. I suck at grammar. But I've naturally been able to hone that. Why? Because I was that. And it took me some time to realize that, you know what? Me being that black sheep of the class who was that Angrezi Olat guy who was always speaking English, always put on the side, actually benefited me someday. Now you may be wondering, why is this guy even talking about this, right? 48 of you who are here, right, especially in college students, all of you who are in colleges right now and have taken the time to do 2 very important things. 1, join Toastmasters, and 2, attend Toastmasters. You might be branded as being that different. Your friends right now might be on a Saturday evening going to Boho or going to some club in Bangalore and partying or just having a evening out, right? They may think that, hey, let's go to Rasta and let's just go for a bike ride, right? The roads are finally cleared. That may happen. And you might be that different person, right? You're sitting in front of a laptop on a Saturday, like, yeah, what's wrong with you guys? This is the age you need to have fun, you need to go out, you need to enjoy life. But you guys are being different and you're sitting here attending a meeting. You're being part of Toastmasters. You're coming every week. You're attending different meetings, your own club meetings. You're coming to different other college meetings. You may feel that, you know, I'm being different. And that fear might be that I'm being branded as someone who's different, or I'm not one among the crowd that everyone's doing. But let me tell you this, you might feel this today, but a couple of years down the line, 2-3 years down the line, trust me, nothing is going to matter. But what you do in these few meetings that you do, this 1.5 meeting, that is going to put you and make you realize that being different is actually good. You stand out. And that's when you shine in the world outside. So if you're spending extra time in Toastmasters, you're coming to such meetings, you're not prioritizing, you're not going for that movie that just released on a Saturday or a Sunday, and your parents might tell you that you're first of all going in college, you spend half the time there, then you come back and you do this Toastmasters, your friends may tell you, your boyfriends, girlfriends may tell you all this. We've heard it all. Don't let those words bog you down, because trust me, one of the few regrets, I don't really like to have regrets, but one of the few things that I actually, just not like a regret, but something that thing is, I should have joined Toastmasters when I was in college. I joined after I graduated, I joined Toastmasters. And 8 years later, I'm here. You guys have joined in college, and that's, trust me, the most amazing time for you to really be different and stand out. The 2-3 years you invest now, I'm not going to even say anything. 5 years from now, take my number, take Sid's number, take anyone's number, call us, and you'll see a different person altogether. I guarantee you that. So for that, I really commend all of you for taking that time, coming together, all the clubs, MCC, TAB, Ramaiah, and NHCE coming together under one roof, doing this rendezvous meeting. I think that itself shows commitment, that it shows dedication, passion, and above all, you're going ahead and putting that statement that, you know what, I'm different. I'm not going to be one of the crowds who just goes and parties or does stuff. I'm doing something for myself. Why? Because I see something that's going to help me become something that I want to be. So for that, give yourselves a round of applause for all of you for coming over on this meeting and being here. So kudos to that. And thank you so much for having me as well here. And instead of now me stopping to talk, we have an amazing meeting today. So lost in line, I'm sure you all want to have fun with it. Just want to give you these little inspirational words that I could give. And now handing it over to the Toastmaster of the day. I don't see the Toastmaster of the day. Okay. Hey, Sourabh. The Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sourabh. Over to you, Sourabh.
Thank you so much for that inspirational DTM address, Toastmaster Rohit. I can relate with you on that, being the Angrezi guy, because I am from Kerala, but I did all my education in Qatar. And now I'm back to India, and now people are like, okay, what is this guy? So we can all understand the pain of being different. But how are all of you today? I mean, a lot of you are college students, a lot of you aren't college students, I understand. But overall, all good? Can we get a thumbs up? All right. And I would encourage the people who have their screens turned off to turn it on to improve the engagement further. Another thing is, all of you are college students. Do you have any interesting stories to share? All of you can come on screen and just give some random funny moment if you remember. Anything that you'd like to share with the audience? Any learnings? Okay, I'm going to take that silence as the fact that everybody has such amazing stories that they would not even like to share it because it's that mind-blowing. Coming back to this feeling of being different, like Rohit said, I have always felt that. Even in my school days, we all remember our school days, right? There are moments wherein all your friends are like going and playing catch, and then you always go there. And supposedly every time, I still don't know whether it was cheating, by the way. I'm always the one that is picked to be the person who catches the other people. And another thing, I could never find myself finding it in my heart to win a rock, paper, scissors game, because I really think that people behind my back are plotting. Oh yes, we are going to take scissors and this guy's definitely going to take rock or paper or whatever. Also, there are moments when I feel like the teacher just calls your name out, even when your friends made all the trouble in the back bench. All are good memories. But a lot of memories that really do point out to the fact that you are different. But then I came to college, and college was something else entirely. One thing I found in college was there is always this particular community that you can stick to. In college, the whole scene is different. The whole vibe is different. Teachers are more chill, and you get this feeling of financial independency. You have this whole ATM card to yourself, and then you can just go to the cafe and be like, "Mera cash," and then be like this big boss who's going to pay everything. But then you always know in the end, your friends are going to buy that 2,000 rupee wala lunch. And then if you're a group of 5 people, 4 people are going to pay 50 rupees each, and that last person is going to end up taking the brunt of the bill. So this is college life. And this is another example of wherein we are just different altogether. But then moving forward, I would like to tell you about this one person. His name is Gerardo Lopez. On August 30th in the year 2018, he gave a TED talk talking about his time in a Salvadorian gang called MS-13. You might have heard of it. At 14 years old, when all we had to worry about was our next favorite TV show coming out this weekend or our 9th grade report card, he was actually dealing with real instances of assault, vandalism, etc. But you might be thinking, how could a 14-year-old find it in his heart to join a gang? Well, let me take you to another example. Let's all, you just give me your responses here, all right? You're in a party or you're in a room with 100 people, a typical scenario, correct? And let's just say that all of those 100 people are just different from you. You don't know them. They're maybe strangers, let's say. What is the first thing that you guys will do? A little interaction. Come on, give me some responses.
Okay, so maybe just wait for someone to start talking so that like we can hear them and then continue the conversation.
Valid point.
Introducing yourself to others.
Okay, you have some guts, Vinay, to just go up and introduce yourself within hundreds of people just from the get-go. Cool, you really are a Toastmaster. Yeah, Yousuf.
Try to find a same vibe person and just get into him.
Exactly. So when you're in a room filled with hundreds of people, you try to find similarities. You find that person that makes you feel like, oh, you're at home. You try to find that person with the same skin color, the same hair, or the same interests, or even the same language. Well, if you, like Rohit said, if you're a Teluguite or a Malayali or a Kannadi or whatever it is, you just go up to that person and you're like, hey, what's up? I'm from Kerala or Tamil Nadu or whatever. How have you been? Oh my God, I was raised there for my entire life. How are you? That confidence just sparks within you. And why do we feel this way? This feeling of comfort. And that is exactly what we are going to delve in today. And then no matter what circumstance you're in, there is this one community that always shines through. And this community would not be here without the help of one person in particular. And that is none other than Sir Ralph C. Smedley, the founder of the non-profit organization Toastmasters International, with today has over 327,000 members in over 16,600 clubs in over 143 countries. A huge and tremendous achievement. Without Sir Ralph, we really would not be in the situation. We really would not be in a place where we can all share and then be part of something we think is bigger than us. So we are all in this Toastmasters meeting together. And then there is a Toastmasters session usually has 3 sessions. And that is similar in this meeting as well. That is the keynote session, the speech relay session, and finally the table topic session. So before we start off with the sessions of this meeting, I would like to call upon the role takers of this meeting. And today we are having 2 role takers in particular. And first, we have the timer played by Toastmaster Adrian. Before we go ahead, I would like to ask Toastmaster Adrian to come up on the screen and then introduce him and the role. Over to you, Adrian.
So good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I'm Adrian from New Horizons College of Engineering. And so I'll be a timer for the day today. As you all know that time is so important in any event, like it makes or breaks the game. And monitoring the time is really crucial, in any event. So yeah, that would be my role for the day. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that concise introduction to the role Toastmaster Adrian. Now I would like to pass on the screen to Toastmaster Vibha to explain the role of listener. Toastmaster Vibha, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. As listener, I will be listening closely to everything that's said in today's meeting. And towards the end, I will be asking a few questions to test if you have been listening closely and paying attention. With that, thank you and back to you, Toastmaster Sourabh.
Thank you for that succinct introduction, Toastmaster Vibha. Now, without further ado, let's move on to our first session of the meeting. That is the keynote session. And we have a very special person with us today. He is the Division H Director of District 92. He is an improv artist and thought designer. He is also a contestant in the district level contest, division level contest, area level contest, in various contests such as ISC, there is the International Speech Contest, the Humorous Speech Contest, the Table Topics Contest, and the Evaluation Contest. He's none other than Toastmaster Siddharth Shah. Over to you.
Just a quick audio video check. Can you hear me? Yeah, I think the video is off. All right, I think the video is on now. All right, thank you very much, everybody present here. Thanks a lot. Okay. Wait a minute. Get lost. All right. So once again, a huge round of applause for everybody present here. All the 4 clubs, MCC, TAB, Ramaiah, and New Horizon College of Engineering. Once again, these applauds were not for me. I'll probably take them towards the end. These applauds were for all of you. Why? Because I believe you're all effective communicators. And I think I need to stop this background video from coming up again and again. Thank you. So you're all amazing, effective communicators. How many of you believe in this? Can you all raise your hands if you believe you're effective communicators? You can speak confidently. Yes, Bilal, I see you raising your hands. Great. Dinesh as well. Vidhi, Vibha, a lot of you. Let me see. Is that all the 58, 57 people who feel they're confident, effective communicators? Okay, I'm glad to see so many people raising their hands. Now you can lower your hands. To all those who feel they're not that effective, you are effective. You're not that effective. Trust me, you are. The only thing, in my opinion, is you need to be in the zone. All of us are amazing, effective communicators when we are in that zone. Now, let me give you a couple of examples. There are a lot of factors which bring us in that zone when we can just fluently flow about any particular topic faster than even the water flowing through the Niagara Falls. For example, a lot of us might feel the language English might be a challenge, but give that particular person anything to talk in their native language and you'll just see how fluently they just go on and on and on. They will just go, and they can just go on and on in that particular native language. Agreed? Thumbs up? So that still gives us a clarity that yes, we can speak maybe in a particular language. Now talking about another factor, which is a topic. Now, how many of you may follow any sport or say cricket? Right? So if I can ask any one of you who's your favorite cricketer or talk anything on that particular topic, don't you think you can just go on and on about that particular topic? Whereas if I ask you what is Bernoulli's equation or what is Kirchhoff's law, there might be a moment where you might have to think, or maybe you might not even come back on that. Possible? So the familiarity with the topic is another factor that may move you out of that particular zone, apart from language. Yet, if you know that particular topic, you can be in that zone and you can be that effective communicator. Which is basically, if you all know what is stable topics, if you get a topic which you just knew, we just spoke about it, you just read about it, you can just go on for more than 2 minutes, you can go on for 10 minutes as well, right? Familiarity with the topic. The third one I could also talk about is what Sourabh mentioned, familiar audience or the familiar environment. Say if you have a group of friends, again, you can just go on and on and on and on about some particular topic. You just don't need a timer card to stop you because that would be very irrelevant, right? Whereas put yourself on the particular stage or put yourself in, say, the railway station and you would have to shout out loud, you would be uncomfortable. Why? Because you feel that there are eyes watching you, you feel that there's a fear of judgment, right? It's also about how comfortable you are with that particular audience. Third factor. Yet, if the audience is familiar, or rather, if you are comfortable with that or any audience, you're still an effective communicator because you will feel in that zone, being in that zone. The other factor I can also talk about is the emotional state or the mood that we are in. For example, if somebody is pricked a little, somebody is made to feel a little angry, just imagine how, for example, in a traffic situation, just try to touch a car's window and you'll see that person just goes on and on and on. Even in urban dictionary, you'll hear a lot of grammar which you would have not even heard earlier, right? Now that person did not prepare for that particular topic, was super ready, just had to trigger that person. Again, an emotional state, or the state where you're super joyful, it's just flowing out of you. So all of us, I just want to set the premise that we're all effective communicators. We just have to be in the zone. Okay. I do see a comment. Okay, I'll still continue. So having said that, now according to all of you, you can unmute yourself. What is impromptu communication? Anybody can unmute. What is impromptu communication?
Having the ability to speak extempore without the nudge of outside influence, you could say.
All right. Anybody else?
The story which we tell to our teachers whenever we go late for classes.
All right. Been there, done that. Anybody else? Been there, done that. Plus anything else on impromptu communication? What is impromptu communication as per you?
Random topics.
All right. So, okay. Impromptu communication, all of this is right. Facing your teacher is definitely right. Now, impromptu communication, if you look at it very theoretically, it's all about not giving your mind and mouth a chance to think or have a coordination. It just flows from your mind to your mouth immediately. You're not there waiting to think whether you have to take this decision or that decision. It just flows out immediately, which also means you're in the zone anytime. If somebody hits your car or your bike, you're there, you're ready in that particular zone and in that moment to lash out at that particular person. You're impromptu lashing out at that person and you're in that zone. So impromptu communication is all about being in the zone. And all of us, yes, we can be prepared for our prepared speeches or any competitions, but it's a very important life skill to have, to be in the zone anytime, to be effective as impromptu communicators as well. Because this is a skill that can come handy at any moment in our life, or rather every moment in our life. Right? Anybody who wants to unmute yourself and tell me why is impromptu communication important, or why is it important to be able to face anybody at any moment? Anybody can unmute, or scenarios?
Can I go?
Yeah, sure.
Hi, Sid. I am from Power School and
Sure.
I am talking from an experience.
Mhm.
I was one asked to speak to one of our stakeholders, and I was always nervous when I used to be asked to speak to stakeholders at my company. And one day they asked me a difficult question, which was not really difficult. They were asking for my opinion, and I blanked out. And there were a lot of people on that call I couldn't answer. But after I joined Toastmasters, I was really able to develop that skill set where I would be able to answer difficult questions.
Perfect.
I think that is where impromptu speaking.
So it's a scenario that can happen in your professional or academic lives, right? Where you have to face somebody who is asking you, somebody in authority, whom you have to respond to, right? Whom you report to. Anybody else? Any scenario, situations where you feel you would have had to respond impromptu?
I think in my experience, giving interviews has a lot of impromptu thing. Like you can go prepared, but you're never prepared enough. So that's one place where impromptu, thinking on the feet really helps.
Absolutely. This was definitely going to be something in my script, but I'm going impromptu as well. So thank you for that. All right. So having said that, I just want to reiterate the fact that we might face many situations where we are unprepared, but trust me, we all can be prepared to face the unprepared. There are strategies, ways, and one of the best things is join Toastmasters, attend table topics, evaluate yourselves, do this again and again. And I don't mean join Toastmasters again, but keep attempting table topics again and again, keep practicing. Right? Now, let me just tell you, give a random example, right? So about being prepared on knowing what the answer is and how it immediately flows out of us. So, a simple example. Can anyone tell me what is 2 plus 2? 2 plus 2?
4.
I see. Oh, okay, what is 2 minus 2?
0.
2 divided by 2?
1.
All right. What is 1968 into 41? Okay, so this is a very cliche example, very tried and tested method where we know what is 2 plus 2, 2 minus 2, 2 divided by 2, 2 into 2 as well, because we have practiced this, we are prepared to answer this. We're just waiting to hit the buzzer when this question is asked. But 1968 into 41 is something that even the question master doesn't know what the answer to that is, right? So in the last scenario, we are not prepared. In the first 3 scenarios, we're still prepared. It might take some amount of time to answer what is 2 divided by 2 or something similar, but 2 plus 2 is the fastest and the easiest. It did not happen over here. That's a different story. Probably you're unmuting yourselves, but we are familiar with it, which is what Sourabh also mentioned, right? You're familiar with people of that particular language or geography or any other thing. It's all about being familiar, which means it's also about you becoming comfortable and familiar in that particular stage or that audience. This is what we should continue to strive for, rather than just blabber or learn strategies in terms of opening your table topics with a quote and ending with a message. Because life is not always a table topic. It can be a table topic, but there are scenarios where you cannot just always open up yourself with a quote and just speak for 2 minutes, right? Now, I also want to highlight on why it's really important to get better at impromptu communication. Now, I'll just give you a personal example which happened. How many of you here have attempted or know about IELTS exam, TOEFL exam? All right, few, many. Okay, the numbers are rising, right? So there is a particular section that you might be aware of, speaking section towards the end. Speaking section is evaluated for all of you, right? So I also faced this probably 1.5 years ago where I attempted the IELTS exam. Now, there was this time when I did not know how to go ahead with IELTS, the speaking section in particular. I had freaked out. I knew I would blank out when I would have been asked those questions. So what happens in that section is you're asked a lot of questions. There are 3 sections. You're asked something about something that you've spoken, etc., right? But then what I did is I just connected with my mentor at Toastmasters. We connected every night for about 1 hour. We practiced, we strategized ourselves that if this is the question that is asked, if that is the question that is asked, we'll approach it this way, speak only for so long, etc., etc. So I was ready, I was prepared to face the unprepared, and I did get band 8 in that particular section. So I was able to get better. Also, I did practice a lot of table topics back then. So this did help me. All right. So having said all of this, what do you all feel is one of the biggest fears? As Rohit mentioned, I might have a different answer to this. What do you think is one of the biggest fears for anybody attempting table topics or impromptu communication or getting onto the stage to speak? What do you think is one of the biggest fears?
Maybe getting blanked out during
Sorry?
your speech. Maybe getting blanked out during your speech.
Good. Anybody else?
Getting grammatical mistakes during speaking.
Mispronouncing a word.
How to speak within the limits.
Judgment by the audience.
All right. So the answer that I was looking for reflects anxiety, which is the fear of being judged, or what will people think if I make a grammatical mistake, or what will people think about, or what will happen, or what am I performing to my best potential? It's a sort of self-performance anxiety. So it's a lot about anxiety. And what I feel is one of the best ways to deal with the stage anxiety or the stage fright or the fear of being judged is to loosen up ourselves. It's very, very important to feel that you can be ridiculous on the stage. You can do a lot of things. Like, for example, if you watch the movie Joker, the way he just moves around on the stage, yet is super comfortable and confident. That's one of the examples of how we should be on the stage, right? So I want to do a very small, quick activity. So can I ask all of you to please rise up from wherever you're connected, and please be on camera. Stand up, please. Just a small activity to loosen up. I see about 12 people standing up. Thank you for that. All right. So it's a very small activity. It should take about 2 to 3 minutes. and do read Rohit's comment as well. So it's a small activity where I want all of you to loosen up. So the activity, I don't have a proper name for this, but please raise your right hand this particular way. Raise your right hand. I'll count it 8 times, right? And I want you all to move your right hand 8 times. When I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do the same thing with your left hand. Do the same thing 8 times with your right feet, then your left leg. All right, 8 times. And then I want you to iterate it down, taper it down by 4 times. I'll count it. Just follow me. 4 times, right leg, right, left. Then lower it down to 2 times, lower it down to 1 time. And then, since you're all students, I want you all to prove that you're students and you have that particular youth energy. Shout out loud at the top of your voices. Please unmute yourself as well. Can we do this quickly? All right, unmute. I'm going to start. Just follow me. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. Woo! All right. These are the students. The idea is now you can take your seats. Please get seated. Not sure how you're feeling right now, but it's very important to get around, feel comfortable with the stage, loosen up yourself, loosen up as much as possible. It's okay to fail. It's all right, totally okay. Just get started with table topics. And for this particular thing, I just want to tell the last thing. So I'm here today after, I graduated 8 years ago from my college. I'm here 8 years later as a Toastmaster, trying to tell all of you that you should not make the same mistake that I did. So my whole intention is to tell you that don't do what I did. I did not do 8 years ago, which is join Toastmasters, attempt table topics, practice your communication, so that 8 years later, you do not come up as a keynote speaker in this particular forum and tell others what not to do after 8 years, right? And hence, looking at the opportunity that you all have gathered over here right now, at Impact 5.0, I just wish all the 52, 58 people here, right, who are eligible, please go register yourself for all the competitions that are there at Impact. There will be different levels. It will test you a lot. Yet, trust me, you won't be here 8 years later saying these words. You might be saying things which will be much better, right? Or you might not need 8 years to do this. So that's me. I don't see the timer cards, but now we can open the floor for Q&A. All right. So any questions that you have, you can put it on the chat, or you can ask it out to me. Timer, I just want to check how much time do we have?
You finished 18 minutes.
18 minutes. All right. So we can go for about 5 more minutes, 5-7 minutes for questions. So
yes, still 25 minutes.
Sorry. Yeah. So anybody has any questions for me or how to tackle any particular thing? Questions on Impact could be asked better to the organizers.
I had a question.
Hey, hi, Pragya. Yeah.
Hello. I'm from New Horizon College of Engineering. Suppose we have like in a table topics speech, and you by mistake or whatever the situation is, you go blank. How do you tackle that?
How many of you have faced this? Most of us. So I have this particular theory. How many of you understand the concept of arrays, or say whole numbers, natural numbers, right? So whole numbers start from 0, 1, 2, 3. Natural numbers start from 1, 2, 3. And arrays, if you look at it, has the starting position as 0. After that, it goes on from 1, 2, 3, etc. Right? So it's pretty much possible that your first attempt will be a 0. I mean, you will be a 0 in your first attempt. It's possible. Your attempts might be, I mean, the way you perform might be a whole number. The first attempt might be a 0, but eventually you will get better. Now that doesn't explicitly answer it, but what I've encountered personally is, definitely try to take those 10-15 seconds if possible to try to think of something at least, because it's all about connecting the dots. So one thing that I've done in the past is I have read a lot about evolution or how it's all about atoms, molecules. So I try to connect every single thing to atoms and molecules, or how humans have evolved to face anxiety, and hence I am able to speak A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, etc. So you can always have something on the back of your mind which is a core subject for you, which you can speak very nicely, and then just try to connect the dots with that and try to close with that. So again, could be a table topic strategy, but can also work in general in impromptu life. Yeah. All right. Yes, Vatsala.
I'm so sorry, I forgot to lower my hand.
No issues. And Pragya, I hope that answered you.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
All right. Anybody else have any question? All right. Yes, Vibha.
Okay, so like you're talking, like you have got a topic, but you don't have that much information on it, but like the table topic has to be a specific time. Say what information you have is comparatively less. So what do you do at that point of time? Because you can't drag it a lot also.
Yeah, going round and round or dragging it is definitely not a good strategy. At least, again, as an example from my IELTS exam, during my mock exams, I did this where I just did not know what to say and it went on dragging. But what can help over here is adding personal stories or having the strategy of questions: what, how, when, why, etc. So if you ask me something about how did Aurangzeb die, I don't know, probably a tiger claw. But when did it happen? How did it happen? Or why is it relevant to this particular topic? Or what can be a message that can be derived that everybody died some other day? They die either by lightning or some other way. But it's important that we acknowledge that there is a presence of that particular person, and that person has made history, etc., etc. So we can just always go around that particular topic to impart some perspective that we have when we are blank or we don't have much information. But it's a lot about connecting the dots and asking those questions to ourselves by taking some amount of time. The standard questions of what, why, how, why, when, etc. Yeah, that's the answer. At least, so what I would say, there's no right or wrong, to be frank. There's no right or wrong strategy. You YouTube or Google about table topics and how to attempt. You'll see there are strategies on, talk about the past, talk about the present, talk about the future. You'll get 33 seconds and you can do a closure. Now, this works well in table topics, and I've reached the division level of table topics in the same particular fashion. But I would just say there's no right or wrong method. Try this out, see if it works for you, experiment it out. You will probably find another strategy that might work better for you. Eventually, you will realize that you didn't even need a strategy. Just practice again and again, and it will just come out as a natural flow for you.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right, Vidhi, yes.
Yeah, hi. Thank you so much for this insightful session. So my question is a little out of the box, not particularly, but what would you choose? Table topics or evaluation? Because both of them are impromptu at the end of the day.
I might, if given an option, I would choose both, but I might go for evaluation. I might go for evaluation because today I attended a particular session where I heard, the most important skill we can learn in Toastmasters is listening, which I can broaden the horizon as observing. So when you're evaluating, you're observing, you're also adding a lot of compassion to that particular person, to not hurt that person. basically not giving a destructive feedback, but giving a constructive feedback and not even sugarcoating it, right? So it's a lot about working through the emotions of that particular person, and still you're going impromptu. So that's what I would choose. Yeah, thanks. Good question. That's Rohit on the comments. Yeah, thanks, Billy. Yeah, yes, Vishwajit.
So this might also not be an ordinary, like a plain on the go question. So how do you improve your impromptu, like in a thinking aspect instead of just speaking or? So that's it. That's what I want to ask.
Very good question. That's something that I also wanted to cover in terms of one of the best benefits of becoming better as an effective communicator, impromptu speaker is your thinking gets better. Why? Because I'll just, before answering you, I'll just tell you why. Because when you're going impromptu, when you're thrown a particular topic, as I told, there's hardly any time gap for your mind and your mouth to process. It's like in any sport, you have that hand-eye coordination, right? Say cricket, you have to have that hand-eye coordination. Similarly, here it's all pretty fluently flowing. The mind, whatever thought you got, it has to just immediately come out. Whereas in a prepared scenario, or say if you're in traffic, you're at the signal, you might be thinking, should I go left? Should I go right? So there's a lot of overthinking that happens. But in impromptu, the better you get, the better is the time gap that is reducing for your mind and your mouth to have a coordination. And first thing first, attempt more, practice more, because somebody told me, a club tour director told me that it's more like machine learning, where the more training data that you feed, it gets better over time, right? Talking basically about practice. But having said that, I would really like to focus on getting our awareness skills better. People talk in meditation or talk about, say, go meditate or just observe a lot about, what food you're eating, or just observe what are the colors out there in front of your window or things like that. Just start observing a lot very consciously, and maybe read as well, which is when you'll start looking beyond what is written or what is already there, and your perspectives will develop significantly, and you'll never know that you are even trying to do this. So that's at least something that has worked for me, at least reading. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. And Adrian, how much time do we have? I do see 25 minutes written.
Yeah, I think we reached the deadline.
All right, perfect. Assuming no more questions, and must say very interesting questions and a very interesting audience who were able to get up and do that activity as well. So thank you very much once again to all the 4 colleges and the team and Park. Back to Sourabh, over to you.
A huge round of applause for Toastmasters. As Toastmaster Vidhi said, it was, yeah, I see that background. A great, interactive, engaging, and motivational session, Toastmaster Siddharth. I believe we were engaged throughout and we enjoyed every bit of it. You had given me newfound confidence to attend my IELTS exam as well. So thank you for that. But without further delay, let's move ahead with our next session. That is the speech relay session. And for that session, there is a special person who's going to take it forward. He is an anime nerd. And no matter what time of the day it is, even if it's rainy or sunny, you can be sure he's going to be there, one person who's going to be there for you through thick and thin. That is none other than Toastmaster Nikhil. Over to you, Toastmaster Nikhil.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Sourabh, for the wonderful introduction. So, good evening, all the contest officials, contestants, and the audience gathered here. This is Nikhil, your contest master for today's speech relay contest. And also welcome to the dry run of speech relay contest of Impact 5.0. A big round of applause, please. I shall now read out the speech relay contest rules for the audience in brief. This is a group event and each team will consist of 3 members. A scenario, word, or a picture will be given to each team of contestants, and they will be required to be creative and continue the narrative as each member concludes their part. A time slot will be given a maximum of 3 minutes, and each contestant will be allowed to speak for a duration of 1 minute each. The time limit is rigid and a buffer of 10 seconds will be given to wrap up their speech. So if the contestant fails to end their speech after 3 minutes 30 seconds, they will be disqualified and not be eligible for the judging. If the contestant also fails to speak for a period of 2 minutes 50 seconds or less, they will be disqualified and not be eligible for judging. A contestant that fails to adhere the time limit will automatically be muted. If the contestant belonging to an online setup faces the inability to present their speech, they will be allocated a period of 1 minute 30 seconds to return, after which the failure will result in disqualification. Contestants have to submit their speaking order 24 hours prior to the contest. The order of the teams will be randomly chosen using a randomizer a day before the contest. Contestants will receive no advance knowledge of the topic until the moment they are introduced by the contest master. And the yellow card will be displayed at 45 seconds, 1 minute 45 seconds, and 2 minutes 45 seconds respectively. And the red card will be displayed at 1 minute, 2 minutes, and 3 minutes, and shall be displayed until the speaker wraps up their part of the speech. And timing starts or begins with the first word uttered, or when the speaker uses any form of gesture, smile, or non-verbal communications to the audience. And the contest master for today's contest is Toastmaster Nikita. Each contestant's group will be introduced in the following manner: group number, group name, group name, group number. We have 4 groups contesting today, and the contestants' speaking order has been randomly chosen. I will now read out the speaking order of the contestants. Group 1, Toastmasters Amrita Bengaluru. Group 2, Toastmasters NHCE. Group 3, Ramaiah Toastmasters Club. Group 4, MCC Toastmasters Club. Here are a few reminders before we begin. Contestants, kindly ensure all electronic noise-making devices such as mobiles, tablets are switched off or turned to silent mode. Let's do this in the next 5 seconds. Thank you. All other participants of the meeting will be put on mute by the moderator. The contestants, functionaries, and the sergeant at arms have been completely briefed on the rules, and the contestants have been informed about the timers. Are there any questions from the contestants or any contest officials before we get started?
Should we pin the timer?
That is up to you. Like, if you're comfortable in pinning the timer, you're always welcome.
Okay.
Okay. Shall we begin the contest? A thumbs up would help. Thank you. So, Group 1, Toastmasters Amrita Bengaluru, your speaking order is as follows. Speaker 1, Toastmaster Vinay. Speaker 2, Toastmaster Supriya. And Speaker 3, Toastmaster Jasvitha. Speaker 1, could you please unmute yourself and repeat this for an audio video check? MPAC 5.0, 1, 2, 3.
Am I audible and visible?
Could you please repeat this? MPAC 5.0, 1, 2, 3.
MPAC 5.0, 1, 2, 3.
Timer, could you please confirm if the contestant is clearly audible and visible? Timer, could you please confirm?
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
I'm audible, right?
Yeah. Yes, you are.
Okay.
Speaker 2, could you please repeat this after me for an audio video check? MPAC 5.0, 1, 2, 3.
MPOC 5.0, 1, 2, 3.
Timer, could you please confirm the same?
Yes, I can hear her.
Speaker 3, could you please repeat after me For an audio video check, MPark 5.0, 1, 2.
MPark 5.0.
Timer, could you please confirm?
Yes.
Thank you. So, Toastmasters Amrita Bengaluru, your topic will be displayed on the screen. So, you're an alien from another planet, and your spacecraft is broken, and you've landed on Earth. So, group number 1, Toastmasters Amrita Bengaluru. Toastmasters Amrita Bengaluru, group number 1. Toastmaster Vinay, you're on mute.
I'm so sorry. Oh God, turn off the fire, Supriya. Jasvitha, bring that water here. Look around. It's a wonderful scenario. The oxygen was very fresh. I haven't seen this planet in my radar. Supriya, do you have any kind of idea about this planet? But I think it's wonderful. Hey, who are those little people walking there? Look, they're having 2 legs. Oh, nice. What is this big glass thing here? I'm not even able to touch it. Oh, it's air. It's so cool. Nice. And also, Supriya, have you ever gone to other planets? I'm wondering how to go to our planet from here. I'm so scared. Supriya, please tell me an idea to go back to our planet.
Vinay, I'm super scared. This place looks so unfamiliar. I'm panicking. What are we supposed to do here? How did our spacecraft land here? How did this even happen? And everything is so scary. Like, these people just have 2 legs. We had people who had 4 legs and 8 legs. What is this? This looks also scary. My mind is not even calm. I can't even think of something like, how do we go back? How do we even fix our spacecraft? It's all broken. Do you have any idea? Does Jasvitha have any idea? God, I really wish I was home. I do realize panicking isn't really helping me, and I've taken out my frustration, so I might as well think about how should we fix this. I was thinking maybe I should talk to Jasvitha, since she's like the one who knows everything, and she somehow always has a solution for everything. So Jasvitha, can you help us out?
Yeah, this planet really does look very weird. Small children going to school and people going to college complaining about their teachers, and this spacecraft, I have no idea how it's going to fly to back to our planet. And seeing this planet, these people have weird fantasies like joining into Toastmasters and talking into a contest about aliens. So yeah, this planet is really weird, and I really hope I go back to the planet. But yeah, let's explore this planet a bit more to learn more about the human species living over here. I don't think they only have 2 legs. They also have a brain, which might help us fix this spacecraft, or they might help us going back to some other planet like Mars or something else, of which they haven't been yet. And I really hope they will help us, because the beings on Earth are really proud of their planet. Even though they cut all their trees and pollute the Earth, they still love their Earth. So yeah, let us hope we get back to our planet soon.
Thanks a lot, Toastmasters Amrita Mangaluru. That was one heck of a speech. A big round of applause to Toastmasters Amrita Bengaluru, guys. So, Group 2, Toastmasters NHCE. And your speaking order is as follows: Toastmaster Yousuf, Toastmaster Bilal, and Toastmaster Om. Speaker 1, could you please unmute yourself and repeat after me for an audio video check? Impact 5.2, 1, 2, 3.
Excuse me, contest master. Actually, the order was changed. It will be I am the speaker, Yousuf is the second, and Bilal is the third.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just repeat the speaking order once again. Speaker 1, Toastmaster Om. Speaker 2, Toastmaster Yousuf. And Speaker 3, Toastmaster Bilal. So Speaker 1, could you please unmute yourself and repeat after me? Impact 5.0, 1, 2, 3.
Impact 5.0, 1, 2, 3.
He's audible.
Yeah, thank you. Speaker 2, could you please unmute yourself and repeat after me? Impact 5.0, 1, 2, 3.
From 5.0, 1 to 3.
Audible.
Thank you. Speaker 3, Toastmaster Bilal, could you please repeat after me? Impact 5.0, 1, 2, 3.
Impact 5.0, 1, 2, 3.
Audible.
Thanks, Bart. So your topic is yes. So you have taken a sick leave for a game and your boss shows up at the stadium. I just repeat. You have taken a sick leave for a game and your boss shows up at the stadium. So Group 2, Toastmasters NHCE. Toastmasters NHCE, Group 2.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, and I am the working executive and a working member of the society, and I work for IBM, a very prestigious company. But as usual, while working with IBM, the work culture is very nice, and there are a lot of different works that we have. But sometimes we do need a break because of a lot of hassle that we have with our bosses and managers. So one day I had one of my favorite game that I like, cricket. There was a cricket match in the Bangalore Stadium, and I was urging to watch, to go and just laugh out loud and vent out all the pent-up stress that had built up over the months. So once I decided I will take a paid leave without informing the boss, tending to it as a sick leave, and I'll go and watch and enjoy the show with some of my friends, namely Bilal and Yousuf. So all of it was prepared. We were ready to go to the stadium. Everything was planned out in a very perfect manner until we reached the stadium. And once we entered the stadium, something remarkable happened. And let's see what happened.
So like as we saw, and in my right side, my boss was just buying a ticket. That was for a India-Pakistan match. And like literally I'm just shivering over there. Like I'm just like my shirt became wet due to the sweat. Like I was damn scared at that moment. I don't know what would happen next. Like I was totally confused at that time. So I thought of, but unfortunately, if I saw my seat number, it was just beside my boss. And over there, my friends were like, they were just telling, dude, see your bosses over there, your bosses over there. Like they are not even trying to help me out. They are just trying to push me into some danger stuff. I don't know what's going to happen next. So I just tried my best to get into the things. Like I went over there and just sat. I don't know what happened. Like my boss just saw me and he just called me up. what are you doing over here? You told us sick leave and you.
Now, as the conversation between Yousuf and his boss was initiating, we as friends were excited and thrilled to know what's going to happen with Yousuf. And right then, the match started. We all knew that Yousuf was a huge Virat Kohli fan and his boss was MS Dhoni fan. And as the match progressed, we could see Yousuf always having a conversation with his boss, telling how Dhoni is better than Virat. Yes, that was a sudden switch. And then the guy, we knew Yousuf as the one who's always broke. He projects himself as broke. But then right now, we could see Yousuf go get popcorn, Coke for his boss, and literally having to, just one thing was missing, and that was to feed him. We could all see the new version of Yousuf, and we were all quite thrilled. And we were expecting that the boss would have some more, kind of energy with Yousuf, an energy exchange with Yousuf. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. Boss was pleased with the popcorn and Coke, and they both ended up supporting the same player, and we had quite fun there. Thank you.
Here's a big round of applause to Toastmasters NHCE. That was a wonderful take on the topic. So group 3, Ramaiah Toastmasters Club. Your speaking order is as follows. Speaker 1, Toastmaster Bhavishyasree.
Sorry, it's Bhavishyasree.
Bhavishyasree. Please excuse me if I'm getting it wrong. Speaker 2, Toastmaster Risaa. And Speaker 3, Toastmaster Gautam. Speaker 1, could you please unmute yourself and repeat this after me? Impact 5.0, 1, 2, 3.
I can't hear you. Can you just repeat?
Impact 5.0, 1, 2, 3.
Impact 5.2, 1, 2, 3.
He's audible.
Speaker 2, Toastmaster Risaa. Could you please repeat after me? Impact 5.0, 1, 2, 3.
Impact 5.0, 1, 2, 3.
Audible.
Speaker 3, could you please unmute yourself and repeat after me? Impact 5.0, 1, 2, 3.
Impact 5.0, 1, 2, 3.
Audible.
So your topic. So it's 2 a.m. and 3 of you are walking in a zoo. And you see a lion running towards you. I just repeated. So it's 2 a.m. in the morning and 3 of you are walking in a zoo. And you see a lion running towards you.
So it's 2 a.m. Nobody would be there in this. I'm audible? Yes. So it is 2 a.m. in the morning. So we three went for a jog or to have some fun and to get into it. So it was no one. We were thrilled when the lion god was chasing into us. We were running to long places, and there was some places when we went into one's home and then we chit chatted and just we had some fun. And then again we chased us. It was chasing us a long period of time. And then we used to see this HBO and Bad Girls versus Man. And after watching this, we got some tips and tricks how to face a lion and how to chase and how to get out from it. And then we did all these things like showing the fire and showing fire and climbing into the wall. And when we climbing into the trees, we found some good raw mangoes, and then we ate, and then I'm shifting to Risaa.
All right, Risaa's point of view from now on. I was terrified the entire time. There's a lion chasing us, and Bhavishyasree is talking about mangoes and going to other people's house and eating. And I am terrified I am going to be eaten by a lion. And that is not a death I'd ever wanted for myself. Okay. I always thought I'd die doing something cool or maybe something really stupid, but not by being eaten by a lion. I am so exasperated because I would like to focus on the situation at hand. We are being chased by a lion. We have nothing that we can do. None of us have our phones. We're running. It is terrifying. And I would really, really like to be home in my bed. Coming out jogging was a huge mistake. I should have just never, ever, ever done it. I am never going out with them ever again. Gautam, on to you.
As she was imagining herself being in the bed, we all realized one thing. How did we enter the zoo at 2 o'clock? Thinking deep down, we're trying to recollect our memories. And then we remember, we actually weren't in the zoo. We were in a place far, far away that was in a Ramaiah Toastmasters Club meeting, listening to one of the most hilariously boring speech. We thought that we all had a synced dream. And honestly, we tried to keep trying to recollect how did we all had the same dream together. Is it telepathy? Or is it just a connection of us three friends? I really do not know. But that night will be the night to remember, even if it's just a dream. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thanks a lot, Ramaiah Toastmaster Club. Get a big round of applause. That was a great take again. So group 4, MCC Toastmasters Club. Your speaking order is as follows. Speaker 1, Toastmaster Meyvizhi. Speaker 2, Toastmaster Pragya. And Speaker 3, Toastmaster Vidhi. So Speaker 1, could you please unmute yourself and repeat after me. MPAG 5.0, 1, 2, 3.
MPAG 5.0, 1, 2, 3.
Speaker 2, could you please unmute yourself and repeat after me. MPAG 5.0, 1, 2, 3.
MPAG 5.0, 1, 2, 3.
Audible.
Speaker 3, could you please unmute yourself and repeat after me. MPAG 5.0, 1, 2, 3.
MPAG 5.0, 1, 2, 3.
Audible.
And your topic is one sec. Yes. So if you have time traveled and you're 10 years old now, what would you do? So if you have time traveled and you're 10 years old now, and what would you do?
Insanity is doing the same thing. Oh, sorry. Can I?
Please continue.
Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. And that is what I had in my mind when I finally time traveled back after doing all these crazy inventions, sitting through JEE, sitting through GATE, every other entrance exam, coming up with the time travel machine, and finally going back to not do all of those things. Because basically, I had lived all of my life from 10 years on just for these entrance exams, for college, for job, for, let's say, all those societal expectations. And I had forgotten what it meant to actually live. So I went to when I was 10 years old and told 10-year-old this little human that, no, please don't take this wrong decision. You will think that, oh my God, I'm going to be rich. But then this great human called Pragya will come and tell you that, no, don't do this.
So 10 years before, I was thinking, what if I'll do an engineering, or I will sit for a NEET exam, or I will go for a best engineering college like IIT Bombay. When I was a kid, I was like, this was looking so fantasy during that time. People were going into IIT Bombay, they are cracking their NEET exam, IIT, and I was so fascinated around. I'm like, okay, let me see the future, what it will be.
will it be a scary one or will it be a good one? So I time traveled and I see that no, it's a scary one. People are just going in an academic rat race. So I decided myself not to go for an engineering and IIT Bombay. Whether my parents are convinced or not, I am going to follow my passion and believe, and I'll be happy in future. Over to you, Toastmaster Vidhi.
Now, just as both of these Toastmasters shared their experience of traveling with me, personally, I was really excited because you know why? I also wanted to go back and make the things right that I have done wrong. But at that point, somewhere when I went back, I understood this one point that 10 years back, what all I have taken and what all I have done in this 10 years has made me what I am today. I am proud to see where I have reached because those small mistakes that I really wanted to go back and to clean them and to have a less regretful life, I don't think that was possible for me. When I saw my 10-year self, I was like, this is not possible. My decisions has made me and I owe up to those decisions. It is on me what I do with my life. Going back or going forward is not going to help me. It is the present that is going to help me go forward and to develop myself. So that's how my going back 10 years have helped me. Back to the contest master.
It's a big round of applause to MCC Toastmasters Club. That was a great take and a very realistic take on the topic. So now a big round of applause to all the 4 groups for totally nailing those topics. Even though they were a bit weird and quirky, you guys nailed it. You were all over the topic and it was wonderful. So this concludes our try run of the speech relay contest. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Sourabh.
Thank you so much, Contest Master, Toastmaster Nikhil. And what an amazing and engaging contest that was. All of the contestants did a great job. A huge round of applause for all of you. Wonderful session, wonderful stuff. But before we move forward, there is a particular dignitary in the meeting that I would like to give attention to. And she is none other than the Division Director of Division A, Toastmaster Nibi. Toastmaster Nibi, could you please unmute and give your thoughts so far on how the meeting is going? Okay, I think Toastmaster Nibi is having some trouble with her mic. All right, moving forward, there is a particular feedback form that we would like to circulate in the meeting so that we would like to get the opinions of all of you on how the session went and how well the contest was placed. So Toastmaster Nikita, I would like to request you to please share the link for the feedback form on the group chat so that everybody can access it.
Yes.
All of you can see it. Could you give me a thumbs up, everybody? Great, great, great. So I think for now we can move forward with the next session, and that is none other than the table topic session. And we have another very special person today. She is one of the most resilient and independent people that I met, who seems like she's gonna grow up to be that one teacher that all the kids look up to. And she's none other than Toastmaster Sakshi. Over to you.
Thank you so much, TMOD, for that wonderful introduction. So we all know that table topic session is nothing but the impromptu session. So for today's session, what I will be doing is I'll give you all 4 categories and you'll have to choose one. And so I will give you all 2 things to choose between from that particular category and you'll have to talk on one thing. Like for example, if I say food and you all choose food, then I'll give you something as veg biryani or chicken biryani and you have to choose one and speak on that. So it'll be something like that. Can we have any volunteers, please? Okay, I see Vinay, Om, and Yousuf raising their hand. So we'll go ahead with Yousuf first because I saw his hand raised first. So your 4 categories are adventure, or travel.
I would I would like to choose travel. The reason is
Travel.
because I'm a wanderlust. I'm like, can I go? Hello?
So the 2 places that I would give you is Paris or Sikkim. I repeat, the 2
I would
places are
choose
Paris or Sikkim. Over to you.
Paris or Sikkim. See, I haven't heard things about Sikkim, so I would rather go to the Paris because Paris has many things. First thing I would like to go over there and say is, a place of love or something, you call it as Eiffel Tower. I literally love that place. I just want to visit over there. And the best part is I'm such type of person who like to go and interact with new people and try to get into them, try to get their try to get their part. How do I tell? Cultivate their attitude and stuff. So I'm kind of that way. So I would rather go to Paris and find out a new experience over there. Yeah, that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Yousuf. We'll move on to our next table topic speaker. Do we have any volunteers? Oh, okay. Your 3 options are food, adventure, or cricket.
By all means, food.
Would you prefer cold coffee or hot coffee? I repeat, would you prefer cold coffee or hot coffee?
Okay, so now both of them are very hard choices. I would love to drink them, but if I were to choose one, it will obviously be hot coffee because I can turn it into cold coffee after some time. So hot coffee, most of the time I need it because I am a night owl. I am always awake throughout the night. You can always contact me up till 4 a.m. I'm always on. So I need that hot coffee for me to be awake and do all the tasks that I need. And also coffee has a lot of rejuvenating factors for the body, which helps us keep active and awake. So coffee always goes with most of the breakfast or snacks, whatever you want to eat. And I love coffee more, and that's why I prefer hot coffee over cold coffee. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster O. Now I would leave it to you all again. Do I have any volunteers for the next? Yes, Vinay. So adventure or cricket?
Do you have any timer cards for tabletop?
Yes, we have Adrian who will be timing the table topic session.
Thank you. I would choose cricket.
Okay. Hardik Pandya or KL Rahul? I repeat, Hardik Pandya or KL Rahul?
Hardik Pandya. You know what he did in India versus Pakistan the before Sunday. There was this bowler coming so fast, running so fast towards him, and he was like, man, the attitude he possesses. At that particular point of time when he hits that 6, the ball was jumping out of the stadium and it came towards me, and I just took my phone, followed him on Instagram. The attitude which he possesses is very nice, and the comeback which he does is awesome. Also, the batting style and the way he holds his bat is seeing that you'll become a fan for Hardik Pandya. I'm not pretty sure that many of you watches cricket. I think most of you watches. Coming to KL Rahul, I haven't seen him batting many times. Also, I'm an MI fan, so I would prefer Hardik Pandya rather than KL Rahul. Or do you take that?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vinay. With this, due to time constraint, we'll have to move ahead, and I will hand over the screen back to our TMOD for today, Toastmaster Sourabh.
Thank you so much for a wonderful table topic session, Toastmaster Sakshi. Also, before Siddharth drops out, okay, I think he has already dropped out. You can always contact one of the chairs to give you his contact in case you have any further questions for Toastmaster Siddharth. So moving ahead, back to the theme. So after this meeting, what do you guys have in mind? What do you guys have circling in your mind? All the thoughts, how did your perspective change? Did any changes in logic happen or take place? Anything that you would like to share? Okay, Toastmaster Om, you had just muted and then went silent again. Okay, I'll take that as a mistake. All right, so I'm going to assume again that there was so much takeaways that you just can't express it all in one sentence. Yeah, Om, yeah, you would like to speak?
Sorry, I just muted it again by mistake. So that's why I wasn't able to speak. So we actually found that there is a place of belonging, developing holistically. Am I audible?
There seems to be some issue. Could you please check again and come again?
Am I audible now?
Yes, you seem to be audible and visible.
Okay, so we learned a lot about Toastmasters. We found a place of belonging where we can all come together and develop ourselves, as the theme says, and as inspiring the keynote speaker was, and how you have been running along the session. It's very inspiring.
Great. Thank you so much, Om, for your feedback. If there are no other people who would like to speak, let's move ahead with the theme again. So this feeling of belonging that Om was talking about, what do you think makes that happen? Let's just take this meeting itself as an example. 4 different college clubs coming together, NHCE, MCC, Amrita, Ramaiah. It's just mind-blowing to see that this many people can come together and coordinate and introduce an event such as this, where multiple people who are not even from any of these colleges can take part and feel like they have been a part of something. They have been feeling belonged. And that is the whole feeling that we would like to emulate in Toastmasters as a whole, and especially Embark in the case of college students. So no matter whether you're an engineer from Amrita or a lawyer from Ramaiah or a teacher from MCC or a leader from NHCE or anybody in general, anybody who has any path that they would like to follow in life, there's always a community out there for you to feel belonged and one of us. At Toastmasters, just so you know, at the end of the day, you can always have one community you can fall back on without any fear of discrimination or any feeling of stigmas or incitement. It's in the golden rules after all. So that does it for this session. And thank you all. You have been an amazing audience as well. This meeting would not have been the same without all of you involved in this meeting. All of you switched on your cameras, given emojis. Everybody, all of you have played a role. Give yourself a huge round of applause and a pat on the back. Now, I would like to move on to the feedback session. Anybody would like to give us any feedbacks on the session, not the contest or anything, just the session. Anything that you'd like to give, any points of improvement or any corrections, you can feel free.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but before that, the awards form is out. It's on the chat box. Please do fill it in. This is for the best role taker and best table topic speaker. So please do fill that for me.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sakshi. Yes, the stage is all yours, audience. Anything you'd like to share? Okay. Rohit, if you would like to share something with the others, could you please unmute and speak a few words? I mean, we would love it.
This is what, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, simple and easy. Why do we have this speech relay and why do we have this kind of events and why did we have a topic where Sid was talking to us about impromptu speaking and all? It's in moments like these where the TMOD will just openly just call your name and you have no idea that you have to speak and then you have to speak something on that spot. Toastmasters and these kind of contests and these kind of sessions help prepare you for that. So great to see all of you putting together and coming together to participate. Love the speech relay element. I think you all had fun in that. Definitely that's something new. That's something that we are planning to bring forth in the upcoming MPark. I'm not going to speak too much about it. We have the chairs over here. We have MPark chair and all. They will speak about it. But I think it was great to have all of you here in this meeting, sharing those stories, picking out how there are so many perspectives to one topic, right? Even in the table topics, you can always have different debates. You can always have different choices. How each person differs, it's so amazing to hear and see that. And I think that's what brings us together. And like I said in the beginning, 7:30, 33 of us are still in this meeting room. Parents might be calling, bosses might be calling, partners might be calling, Toastmasters might be calling, but we are still here committed to this. And I think that is the beauty and essence of Toastmasters. And to see all of you guys, I don't want to say young blood because then automatically I look like an old guy and I'm not. So I don't want to say that, but young blood, I think that Toastmasters blood that we all have is amazing. So kudos to that and kudos to all the organizers, all the folk clubs for having this unique element of bringing folk clubs together. But here's my next challenge to all of you. I'm bored of offline, I mean online. All right, I am unfortunately stuck at home because I am in a very positive mood. All right, unfortunately, in a very positive state I am. So I'm stuck at home. But I want to ensure that we meet offline. And I know a couple of you guys have been asking, let's meet offline. Rohit, can you come? Here's my challenge to all of you. Rendezvous meeting, all 4 clubs in person, plan it. I will be there and I'll get whoever you want there from the district. Make that happen. I think we are all bugged of this online forum, right? Let's get together in an event and then after let's go somewhere and party. Yeah, we're all ready for that? Awesome. Over to you, Sourabh.
Thank you so much, Rohit. So if there are no other comments from anybody, okay, I see that Nikita is on the phone. All right. Anybody would like to give any other points of feedback? Okay, I see that Nikita is back. Nikita, over to you.
Yes, just a second.
Nikhil, you'll have to give me the host access so that I can share my screen.
Give me a moment.
Or you can start sharing the screen.
No, I'll give you the access. Give me a moment.
Yeah.
Try now.
Just a second.
Yes. I hope my screen is visible. Can anybody give a thumbs up? Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. So MPARC is back for the 5th time now. So here we go. So to tell you guys what exactly, so you need to know what exactly MPARC is. So MPARC is an event which is by college students for college students. And it is a pan-India event. Yes, as you can see, just a second. Yes, it stretches across 6 out of 13 districts. Yes. And what are the 2 contests of MPARC? So there are 2 contests which are speech relay and the tall tales. The one which you had as a dry run. The speech relay is basically a group event, specifically a group of 3, wherein just like a relay, you go on speaking for just a minute. And then tall tales is a contest where it is a highly exaggerated and improbable theme or a plot. Maybe you can use a prop or make it a humorous one. The details will be shared soon. And let me all tell you why you should participate. Take part in MPARC. I'll give you 6 good reasons. The first is it helps build your network. And second, it helps to build your teamwork and collaborate by working with variety of people around you. And third, just a second. Yeah, it encourages your creativity. It enhances your communication over a wide variety of platforms. And not only that, it helps you to manage your skills over a longer period of time. And lastly, loads of fun that you're going to have in MPARC. So how can you participate? So first criteria is that you need to be a college student and you need to be between the ages 18 and 25. And the second question that pops up in your head, do you really need to be a Toastmaster to participate in MPARC? Answer is definitely no. So with these 2 criteria, you can be a part of MPARC 5.0. So for further details, you need to contact our event chair, Sakshi and our registration chair, Navya. So I'll give you 10 seconds to note down the numbers. Maybe you can just drop in a message or call them to know your queries. You can drop in your queries. Yes. And for more updates, please follow our Instagram page and to know the updates of the MPARC and for some fun things as well. Yes. So be enthusiastic, be expressive, and be encouraging, and be MPARC 5.0. Back to you, Sourabh.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nikita, for that wonderful presentation. Now, moving on, we have the results. So for the...
I have one question though. How can we have results before the listener session?
I'm sorry. Yes, do we have the reports, by the way?
Yeah, I'm ready with mine.
Okay. Before you, Toastmaster Adrian, I would like Toastmaster Vidhi to go and then give her a report on the listener. Vibha, sorry. Yeah, Vibha, you can take over the screen.
Thank you, Professor Sourabh. I just want to cross-check if I'm audible. And just in case I drop off, please give me a minute to join back. I have very bad Wi-Fi. So yes, as listener, I will be asking a few questions to really understand if you've been paying attention. I'll be asking 3 to 4 questions, and we'll see who answers the most questions is the listener. Well, with this, I'll ask the first question. How many legs did the aliens have in Team Tab's story? And obviously, people who said the story can't answer. Anyone else? Yes. I see Smriti, Toastmasters, raised your hand.
4.
Toastmasters, there are 2 answers.
4.
And
8.
anyone else? I saw Toastmaster Pragya and raise his hand next.
8.
Yeah, so it's 4 and 8. Thank you so much. The next question is, who is Toastmaster Yousuf's favorite cricket player? Raise your hands and I see Toastmaster Pragya raising her hand first. Toastmaster Pragya.
Is it Hardik Pandya?
No. Toastmaster Jagdish.
Yeah, I guess it's Hardik Pandya. And it's answered by Vinay.
No, that's why I asked. Toastmaster Yousuf. No. Toastmaster, yes, Toastmaster Vinay. I see your hand raised next. Yeah, that's the correct answer. Okay, so the next question is, what did Toastmaster Bhavishyasree, sorry, I'm so sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name right, but Toastmaster Bhavishyasree do to save herself from the lion that was, following her? Yeah, okay, I see Toastmaster Jasvitha. Raise your hands, yes.
She was running around and then she climbed on a mango tree and she was catching the raw mangoes.
Yes, correct. Thank you so much. And okay, 2 more questions. What were the 4 categories in Toastmaster Sakshi's table topic session? Yes, I'm assuming Toastmaster Toastmaster Vinay goes to you.
Traveling, adventure, food, and cricket.
Yes, that's a correct answer. And last question, Toastmaster Rohit mentioned his mother tongue. What is it? Yes, Toastmaster Supriya.
Telugu.
Yes, that's a correct answer. So Toastmaster Vinay answered 2 questions, but great job. I'm glad all of you are paying close attention to the speakers today. Thank you, and back to the team.
Thank you so much for a great listening session, Toastmaster Vibha. Next, I would like to call on Toastmaster Adrian onto the screen to give his report as a timer of the meeting. Toastmaster Adrian, the screen is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Sourabh. So first of all, I'd like to congratulate all the teams for staying within the time limit and for qualifying the game. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Quickly coming to the report, the keynote speaker, Toastmaster Siddharth, took a time limit of 27 minutes, 44 seconds. And coming to the speech relays, the first team, Toastmasters Amrita Bengaluru, took an overall time of 3 minutes, 16 seconds, with speaker 1, Vinay, of 1 minute, 6 seconds, speaker 2, Toastmaster Supriya of 1 minute, 3 seconds, and speaker 3, Jasvitha of 1 minute, 6 seconds. The second team, NHCE, the speaker 1, Toastmaster Om, took 1 minute, 8 seconds. Speaker 2, Toastmaster Yousuf, took 1 minute, 6 seconds. And speaker 3, Toastmaster Bilal, took 1 minute, 3 seconds. The overall time is 3 minutes, 18 seconds. Moving on to team 3, Ramaiah. Speaker 1, Bhavishyasree, took 1 minute, 3 seconds. Speaker 2, Risaa, took 56 seconds. And speaker 3, Gautam, took 1 minute, 2 seconds. The overall time was 3 minutes, 2 seconds. And finally, MCC, speaker 1, Meyvizhi took 1 minute 9 seconds. Speaker 2, Toastmaster Pragya took 1 minute 6 seconds. And speaker 3, Toastmaster Vidhi took 1 minute 9 seconds. The overall time is 3 minutes 25 seconds. And moving on to the table topic speakers. Speaker 1, Toastmaster Yousuf took 47 seconds. Speaker 2, Toastmaster Om took 45 seconds. And speaker 3, Toastmaster Vinay took 1 minute 10 seconds. So thank you all. Back to TMOD. Sourabh.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Adrian. So I would like to call Om up on the stage first.
Hello and good evening, everyone, once again. So I'm here as the presiding officer from NHCE, and I would like to present a certificate of appreciation as educational session speaker to Toastmaster Siddharth in his absentia for encouraging us and giving us all the different thoughts and zones that we needed at the very crucial times that is now in this rendezvous meeting. So thank you for giving us such an educational keynote session.
All right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Om. Next, I would like to call on Toastmaster Freya onto the screen to present her certificate.
So hi everybody, I'm here to present the Best Role Taker Award, and that goes to, can I have the certificate? It goes to, yes, our amazing TMOD of the day, Toastmaster Sourabh. A huge round of applause for him.
All right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Freya. Now, I would like to pass it on to Toastmaster Sakshi to present the best table topic speaker.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Saurabh. So the best table topic speaker for today goes to, can we have the next slide, please? It goes to Toastmaster Vinay from TAP. And over to you, TMOD.
Just hold on a moment. I'm taking the photo. Vinay, please smile for the camera. All right, and that is done. Now, finally, I'd like to pass it on to Toastmaster Dinesh for the final certificate. Toastmaster Dinesh, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sourabh. Before that, can I request Toastmaster Nikhil to reshare the screen because the certificates are updated?
Done. Give me a moment.
Yes. So the first team that won the speech relay contest is Toastmasters Amrita Bengaluru. Can I request all the speakers to switch on your cameras and can they be spotlighted? First, can I request you to spotlight and Saurabh, are you able to see the speakers?
Yes, I can see Vinay on my screen. Okay, could I request the speakers to speak?
Supriya and Jasvitha, can you speak?
Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
Okay, great. Smile for the camera, guys. Done.
Okay. The second place the second team who won the speech relay contest is Toastmasters NHCE. Congratulations, everyone. I'd like to request everyone to switch on your cameras.
Om, Bilal, and Yousuf. All right, please smile for the camera. Thank you.
That's it with the speech relay contest. I'd like to also mention that we had a secret tie-breaking judge in deciding the best of top teams. So that's it from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sourabh.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dinesh. And again, congratulations to all the winners. Huge round of applause for everybody. Finally, thank you again, everybody, for coming on a Saturday evening and attending this meeting. It's a huge, huge ordeal, and I know that all of you have put in great efforts to make this happen. So again, another round of applause. At this point in time, I think we can conclude the meet and we can open the screen for networking.
Thank you so much, everybody, for making it. On behalf of the entire MPark team, I would like to thank all of you all for making it today and helping us make our event a great success. Thank you so much, MPark team, as well as the 4 colleges. Also, is it possible for everyone to turn on their camera for a group photo?
Yes, let's do that.
Freya, Harsha, Uttijita.
The slower people start turning on their camera, the more photos I have to take. So encouraging everybody to turn on their cameras quick.
Freya, Smriti. Do I have to start calling out names? Then everybody will come up. I'll do that. Freya, Bhavishyasree. I'm sorry if I got your name wrong. Could you both come on camera?
Sharanya, Gautami, Chandana.
Gautami. Yeah, Gautami, Sharanya, Chandana. Could you all please come on camera?
Sorry, I'm actually outside.
Not a problem. All right, guys, a smile is the best thing you can wear. So I think now we can move forward. Yes, the photo session is